Hello, howdy, hi, welcome, come on in. Oh my gosh. Thanks for being here. Kind of a late start to a stream, gotta be honest, but that's alright. Not even sure if you have any hot takes. Yes, in case you did not notice the title or whatever I said in the tweet slash blue sky post. Cloud? Are they clouds? Ew, Final Destination, gross. Sorry about that, Pyra. Yeah, I'm always giving hot takes, but I want to hear some of your hot takes, and we can react to said hot takes. Cause I think that sounds fun and cool. Howdy, welcome, come on in. Okay, so General War Thunder's got one loaded up, so we'll start with that, and also the one I got as a reply on Twitter. And then we'll narrow our focus, so then you're not lost thinking about every video game you've ever played or anything. So yeah. Let's hear it, Genital War Thunder, and while you type that, all slowly and stuff, I'll mention the one I saw on Twitter. I'll get their name as well. Hang on, I'm loading. Loading up. Loading. Okay, so yeah, Princess Crash Out, 10 out of 10 name, says Monster Hunter Wilds is ugly. And I'm like, is that a hot take? Because I agree. I think it's, so I'll say that the environments are very nice and the monsters look really good. People look bad in Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm gonna agree in that, like, the thing that is the most standout is the thing that does look the worst, and it's the people. Devil May Cry 2 is not a bad game. I cannot confirm or deny this hot take, because I've not played DMC 2. I've watched one video of Indie Mouse playing it, and he gave up because it was so bad and boring, and so it didn't look very good. So, that does sound like a hot take. But let's get, oh, Jordan's got one, and then after Jordan's, let's narrow our focus into Zelda specifically, and then we can wander across other games as we go. So start thinking about Zelda. Start thinking about what Zelda hot takes you all might have. But I'm ready, Jordan, for whatever it is you got. I'll try to think of some hot takes myself. Let's see. Any Zelda-related hot takes? Hot take. Link to the Past is overrated. I think Mario and Luigi Dream Team is better than Bowser's Inside Story. Wow. I never played a Dream Team. I quite liked Bowser's Inside Story. But, I could totally see that. There were, I'm gonna describe it as cracks in the foundation of Bowser's Inside Story. I could see places where they could absolutely improve. So I'm gonna say that's a valid thought to have, but I can't corroborate it. Majora's Mask is overrated. Genital War of Thunder, do you want to explain why you think that? Like, it's popular, but what makes it overrated? I will provide an example by explaining why I think Link to the Past is overrated. So, don't get me wrong, I think it's great, 10 out of 10. The music has basically been the Zelda soundtrack since it came out. Everything that you love and know started in Link to the Past. But in terms of gameplay, its gameplay is archaic, combat is not fun, and puzzles are limited by the top-down 2D sprite work. The sprites are really nice, but combat is actively no fun, and you get nothing for fighting enemies, so more often than not, it is better to just run away from them. So yeah. That's what makes me feel like it's overrated. Also, the story is as good as it could be for being on the SNES, but that is still to say that it's not a very good story. Like, Zelda games following Link to the Past have absolutely held up better in the story department. Link to the Past's story is mostly made up by yourself and your adventure, which is swell in its own right, but, personally, I just like for the characters to actually have some character. Majora's Mask is better than Ocarina of Time? That's such a hard hot take. First, I'm not sure if it's a hot take. I don't know how many people would agree or disagree. And I think it's because they're so similar. Like, I think at the end of the day, you're looking at it, sorry, I was so confused by how loud my PC was. I was actively like, what's that fan over there? It's my computer struggling to breathe. I should help him at some point. I will. But yeah, Majora's Mask and Ocarina, they're so similar in a lot of ways. I think a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Do you prefer, you know, open world? Do you prefer boss fights? Do you prefer, you know, character, story, etc., etc.? Then I think that's where your loyalties will lie. But that's a fascinating hot take. I don't know if I've seen anyone say that before. Oh, what's this acronym for? ALTTP? A Link to the Past. Unfortunately, A Link to the Past, unfortunately, was the start of the Zelda formula. So everything unique in it is also in nearly every game after it. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Link should talk at this point. Him being mute is kind of annoying to me, Messiah says. Mario feels different because no one talks. Link is the only one who doesn't talk for the audience, even though it's implied he talks in-universe. How much do people really care, though? I see this take sometimes, you know, as I wander across the internet. And personally, I don't mind Link being a silent protagonist. I don't think I would be mad if he spoke. But I don't mind silent protags, you know. Oh yeah, it's implied they talk, but we don't really need them to chit-chat. I would worry that I kind of like how much character we get to assign Link through his mutedness. If he actually got to speak, and you know, that would take away that player power to, you know, figure out how we personify Link through how we choose to read his dialogue options, how to read his animations and facial expressions. So I'm gonna disagree, but I don't think you're alone in thinking that. Personally, I gotta be honest, I didn't even like that they had voice acting. I don't like the lady who voices Zelda and everyone else, like Sidon, you know, Naboris or whatever, like, they all, Mercer, they all did a good job, and there are some performances that I actually really, really like. Chris Hackney as Rauru in Tears of the Kingdom, 10 out of 10. Personally, I kind of prefer no voice acting in Zelda, but that is me being archaic. That's me choosing to be stuck in the past. What are we cooking? We're cooking up hot takes. Currently, we're discussing Zelda hot takes. If you have any, feel free to throw them on out there. I used to work, Genital War Thunder says, I used to work at a video game store and everybody was praising it. However, I think the game design is too repetitive. The quests are overly complicated, and if you're on the N64, you need the expansion pack, and if you're on the GameCube, good luck getting through one dungeon before it freezes and crashes. So you may have been having a specific issue with freezing and crashing. I will say I agree that quests are really complicated in Majora's Mask. And personally, I hate the 3-day cycle. The 3-day cycle time limit, it stresses me out. I like to live in a world if I'm gonna play a game, especially a Zelda game. And being forced to reset every 72 hours, it stresses me out. I can understand, like, it's why I haven't played it. So I can understand. Does it make it overrated? I don't know. I think it deserves many of its accolades, especially for being made in a year. But, good job backing up your point. Well done. Hello, Excalibur. We're doing currently Zelda hot takes, if you have any. Let's see. Marvelous Mr. Pokemon responds that the repetitiveness is kind of the point. You're supposed to loop through those 3 days. What a complex sentence, over and over. Memorize everyone's routines, what they say, etc. And it's true. It is the point. Doesn't make it a good point. That's up to personal interpretation, doesn't it? I know some people who, they know the whole clock town, like the back of their hand, and they, like, revel in that gameplay loop, pun intended, versus somebody like me who, would find it more stressful and less engaging, for example. So, it is the point, but War Thunder is also valid in just not liking the point. Don't forget their hot takes. I'll say that as well. They are, since we're talking hot takes, that means they're going to be unpopular opinions for the most part, if we're doing it right. And that means we can't let ourselves get blinded by, like, I disagree, because I know we tend to do that as people. Look at how many comments I've got of people being mad that I said I don't like a character in Project Sekai in my one hot takes video I did, and it's like, it's a hot takes video. It's a hot take. It's if you can't handle a spicy opinion, why are you clicking on this? So don't forget that there gonna be opinions you might not agree with. I don't like the time limit in Majora's Mask. It feels too restrictive. I agree. I do agree. But also, it's like, so the point. Like, I wouldn't want a version, like a modded version that gets rid of the time limit. Cause it's the whole gameplay. It'd be like saying, I hate having to play the ocarina. I don't want to play any musical songs. It's so the full point. So, I'm right there with you. But, yeah. I guess they can't all be made for us, now can they? I like the Coral Palette says, I like the games plenty enough, so my hot take would be something like Goron's Smash. Oh, of course you went with a smash or pass. Obviously Gorons are Smash. Have you seen Darunia? The only problem is the optics of it, but that's what fanfiction's for, isn't it? To figure that out. Here's one that I don't know if it's a hot take, but it annoys the fuck out of me. The menus in Monster Hunter. Oh, Io has ignored that we are discussing Zelda, but that's alright. I will still read this. The menus in Monster Hunter makes the game nigh unplayable. I think it fully depends on which one you're playing. Because they're goddamn different in every fucking game. That's my hot take. Is that the fact that Monster Hunter is a completely different game, depending on if you're playing on a PlayStation or a Nintendo console, is ass and poopy and garbage. Because some of them are, intuitive. Intuitive enough. Others are asinine. Monster Hunter Wilds might have one of the most ass menus I've ever encountered. So I'm gonna agree with you, but it's a total coin flip, because some of them are like, yeah, you hit X and what you expect to happen happens. And others are, you hit X and your character does a dance and you have to actually hit L2 and then up, and then you use your other thumb to, like, scoot over to the right on the D-pad 14 times, and then let go of all those buttons, and then that opens up the menu you fucking want. So yeah, I agree, like, 50% of the time. He's a proper Zelda hot take. A good guy Ganondorf in a mainline game is dumb, and most ideas for it completely miss the point of Ganondorf as a character and misunderstands Demise's curse on a fundamental level. Fascinating. I am absolutely in camp. I want at least a, like, it's not Ganondorf, but a male Gerudo who is a good guy. I'd love that. I think a good guy Ganondorf can be a fun exploration. The relationships between Link, Zelda, and Ganon are always willing to wander. In some games, Link is Zelda's trusted knight. In others, Link is some boy from the forest that doesn't even meet the princess until the other, more important princess forces them to interact. So I wouldn't mind it. And personally, I don't put too much stock in Demise and his curse. Like, it's a valid thing to remember. It's part of the lore. But I feel like holding too strong to it will just end up limiting other creative ideas. But I will concede that it is a long shot. All of those of us who are like, I'd like a good Ganondorf sometime, like, we don't expect it. We'd like it, don't expect it. And if it were to happen, it would probably be, ha ha ha, you trusted me? I'm actually the final boss at the end, and it's like, no, we were friends, Ganon, no. I miss the instruments in Breath of the Wild. I like it when Link plays. I agree. I'd love for the next Zelda to have an instrument for Link to play. No hot takes. Zelda Links to the Past will always hold special place for me. Did not really like the N64 games and beyond, but I'm more archaic than Twiins. Like my 32-bit pixel games. That's alright. That's alright. Sometimes the third dimension isn't for everyone. So you can keep it. Twilight Princess Ganondorf was the best design before Tears of the Kingdom. I agree, and quite frankly, I think it's better than Tears of the Kingdom's design. I like Tears of the Kingdom's design, but I think it's a bit nothing special in Tears of the Kingdom. Like it's just kind of, it doesn't read as important, unique Ganondorf versus Twilight Princess's Ganondorf. Like, no one else looks like that. Nothing else looks like that. So I'm gonna agree for the most part. Howdy, welcome. We're talking about hot takes. We're currently on Zelda, but we might shift to another game franchise in the not too distant future here. While I like Wind Waker, I don't think it's as good as everyone else hypes it up to be. The boat gives me motion sickness. That would be a huge problem for you. Yeah, I think it's really swell. Wind Waker. A really 10 out of 10 game, especially for kids. It is really perfect for a younger audience. So I'm gonna disagree. I think it's really swell. Got nice pacing up until the Triforce chart quest. But yeah, if boating makes you feel motion sickness, then it's you're not gonna have a good time, unfortunately. What cute little characters though. I like how Wind Waker looks. I'd love for another really stylized art style for Zelda to come back. Don't know if this is a hot take, but I know a lot of people hated the twist in Twilight Princess that Zant was an overly emotional, screechy boy, when I'd argue that's the whole point, that he wasn't fit to rule the Twilight. Fascinating. Fascinating. I think I like Zant, and maybe, time has just, Zant's a weirdo. We all know that now. But I think what would have helped iron all the kind of disappointment out for all those who are really upset with Zant being a crying tantrum boy is if we got to see some of that before that big reveal. Because every time we'd seen Zant before, he has his full-blown tantrum, he seems very stoic, very confident, well composed, and I wish we got to see some of those snaps before he went full let's do a 180 while I stand still and stomp and scream and cry. I think that's the issue. So I can understand where people are coming from, because it does end up feeling like it comes out of nowhere. But also, I agree that, like, he's not a ruler. He is just a little freako. I'm tired of Zelda trying to do the same anime stylings over and over. I like when they go ham on art styles. I like both. That's the coolest thing, is that We'll do Minecraft next, Messiah. I think that's the nice thing about Zelda, is that they all get to look different. So, there's gonna be one that appeals to you, which is really cool. And I think that might be my Zelda hot take, actually, but I've mentioned this before, that the fact that we've been in this Zelda, the Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom, world for so long is, howdy, welcome, means I'm so sick of this art style. I've been sick of this art style. Then Uno, reverse your hot take. Yeah, I'm so done with Zelda and Link looking like this. I want something really different for the next one, because it's been like a whole decade of this art style, and I'm bored of it. I want something new. Here's a hot take to a good number of people. Most Sonic games are actually really good and not shit. Yeah, 06, and Sonic Boom exists, but the rest of the games are either alright to really damn good. They're just not that easy to get into due to the high-speed nature of the game. Add on how horrible 06 is, and people say that all Sonic games are bad when it's not the case. A fascinating hot take. I'm not sure if I'm gonna outright fully disagree. I think Sonic is fighting an uphill battle, and you hit the nail on the head. His gimmick of going fast really flies in the face of tight platforming. Messiah, we are now shifting to Minecraft. Howdy, welcome, Zero. Drop your Minecraft hot takes. We're doing Minecraft now, but I think so. The Sonic games I've played have actually been all of the classic ones, all the ones that have been like pixel art on like the Sega Genesis, all of those ones. And I've got to be honest, they are not that good. They're not bad, but I don't like that duality of I want to be able to go fast, but the game expects me to do platforming. I think Sonic has gotten better, and the Sonic team have gotten better at crafting the world and the gameplay around what Sonic should and can be able to do, tempering that speed when they have to. I agree. In the third dimension, some are better than others, but I think Sonic actually does work better in 3D, as long as you're not stuck on a track. Put Sonic in an open world, and I think that's where he's at his strongest. So, I don't know if I disagreed or not, but I appreciated the hot take. They should have stopped updating Minecraft after adding axolotls. I agree. Minecraft is so bad now. The snow, you can't even walk in snow. It's just too much. They should have just made a new game. And I understand why they didn't. But, like, if I were to play Minecraft, I would want to play on an old version. It's just too much. I fully agree. Minecraft is boring as sin. The only reason people play it is nostalgia. The annual 2-week Minecraft phase, or it's all your parents let you play as an under 10-year-old. Fascinating. So I didn't play a ton of Minecraft growing up. I got into Minecraft through Achievement Hunter. and we didn't play very much. We had a PC server, me, Critter, and Allison, but we didn't play very often, cause it was kind of clunky. Our laptops weren't super strong, so, but I've always have played, but I think I agree. I think Minecraft is more fun when you're playing with friends. I think Minecraft is at its peak, at its most efficient, when it's effectively like a private server for you and your friends to chit-chat and hang out and have fun. If you're just playing on your own, I agree, Minecraft is boring. You play for a good couple of hours, and then you get a headache, and then you stop. So I think I'm gonna agree. No, just feel free to drop hot takes. I'll catch up to you guys eventually. I'll say what I said in high school. If I wanted to find resources to enchant weapons, I'd go play Skyrim. They're pretty different game types. I think between the two, oh man, that is a real video game battle for the ages, though, isn't it? Minecraft versus Skyrim? They've both been on everything. Kinda hate the recent shift in texturing. For a while, the new style was good, but now it's just way too muddy. It is really muddy. It doesn't help that they have, like, 4 trillion different, like, types of gems you can pick up as well. And just, Minecraft is... It's trying to be too much, which I think is actively hurting it. In a lot of ways. Not a hot take of the game itself, but people need to understand that Minecraft is a sandbox game, not an RPG. Not everything they add is going to be for making yourself stronger or fighting tougher enemies. Most of it is going to be for creative building. Also, just because you don't find an addition interesting does not make it bad. Last thing, Minecraft is a great game. That was quite a lot of takes. I would argue not all of them are particularly hot. I can understand people being upset, being like, the fun part for me is fighting things. Because that's the thing, as a sandbox game, you know, when I play Minecraft, I've never been to the end. Never once. I've never even been close to going to the end. When I play Minecraft is I wander, and I find cool things, and I come back, and then I make my house bigger. And then I wander, find cool things, come back, make my house bigger. And so, but for other people, it's, I like fighting the cool big guys. I want to go fight wardens, and dragons, and withers. I think balancing that between all the different types of gameplay is probably hard. So... yeah. Haven't played Minecraft. Couldn't get past the blocky pixelated 3D looks. Wow. That's, yeah, kind of the whole dang thing, isn't it? Well, damn. Minecraft, here's my Minecraft hot take. Minecraft is actually an incredibly bad game. In that, it teaches you fucking nothing. There is no tutorials on how anything works. It is basically mandatory that you either watch Let's Plays where they explain shit to you, or have a friend tell you how things work. Nothing explains the different, like, system of, like, weapon, like great axe, like, ability. Oh, you need a stone axe to do this, and you need a gold axe to do that, and you need nothing explains any of that to you. Nothing explains anything to you. Nothing explains how things interact, and a lot of things interact in very important and unique ways. Nothing explains any of it to you at all. And I think that's bad. Objectively bad. That is the worst thing about Minecraft, is that you need somebody to stand over your shoulder and explain everything to you when the game should be doing that. Tried playing Minecraft once, says Overhypen, when I was like 10, but I got scared by the night monsters and never played again. Yeah, it is scary. It is a weirdly scary game. Never got the hype behind Minecraft. It was big back in high school, just never really understood it. I think it was just super unique. That's the thing. Something new hits the floor, and everyone's interested in it. Just like how we got all those Slender clones and Five Nights at Freddy clones. Once something is popular and just new, that's all we needed, isn't it? So I think that's why Minecraft took off so much. It was accessible, and just new and different. I have a few hot takes. The first hot take is that video games haven't gotten... Oh, so you're just ignoring Minecraft, then. Video games haven't gotten more story-focused than they used to be. That is an incredibly wide brush. I think that fully depends on what games you're playing. Baldur's Gate 3 is very story-focused. Games just used to just use more cutscenes rather than in-game text dialogue, so people just think games have started God, fuck. You also really fell apart in terms of grammar, making this incredibly difficult to understand. I think what you're saying is more cutscenes doesn't equal more story. And on a technicality, you're correct, but you're, again, painting with a really wide brush. I think plenty of games use cutscenes effectively to progress story, and other games go without. I downright wish Elden Ring had more cutscenes, because the game does look really good. And watching, like, Vadi Vidia's... Is it Vadi? Yeah, Vadi Vidia's videos, detailing story elements in Elden Ring with, like, the cool cinematic cameras that he and his team uses adds a lot. So I'm going to disagree because you didn't specify anything, but you can't say all games are like this because inevitably some pedant like me is gonna have a counter argument. Let's shift to let's go Mario. Good old Mario. Mario, and this is all Mario games. You want a hot take about Mario Tennis, Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Mario 64, any of them, anything that is in the Mario umbrella. Mario is missing. I want to hear it, but I'll keep reading. I'm behind you guys, but yeah, I'm going through them all. Don't worry. Minecraft, says one taker, just sounds like work when you put it that way. It really is. You have to make your own fun in Minecraft. Minecraft having no kind of tutorial is hilarious. It sort of is. I do think it's bad, but it also is. Because that means you can throw your grandma in and watch her just be confused. And easy money. Easy 1 million subs on YouTube. Twiins, are you looking forward to that Hollow Knight Silksong game? Personally, you think it's a bit overhyped. I do worry that people have built up too big of an expectation for themselves. Personally, I've never played Hollow Knight, so I don't care about Silksong. I'm happy. Happy for all the people who have been really excited about this. This is somebody else's Banjo 3E, you know? So, happy for them. I hope they are satisfied with the end result, but I kind of agree. I do worry that people think it was that people just overhyped it too much, and no matter what, they'll end up feeling like, oh, that's it, when it's like, yeah, man, sorry. I don't know, but personally, I don't care. Hot take, I don't like how there are so many mods when you want to do cool outings or want to complete tasks overnight. I agree, which is why I, often, if I play Minecraft, I'll turn off day-night cycles, because I don't want to fight all those monsters. Minecraft related, we are currently selling Minecraft toys in our Happy Meals, and I got the bee toy. Wow. It's super cute, and I can kind of use it as a fidget. Wowie wow. I haven't been to a McDonald's in quite a while. But I'm not surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised it's taken this long. Did you catch your... No, I haven't. I've just mentioned Vadi, and I was like, oh, I should check in with Vadi Video. Watch some of his stuff. I've been watching a lot of Survivor-related content. Because I'll just do that every now and then. Gonna have a From Souls hot take if we ever get to that. Feel free to throw that one out there. Feel free to just throw out the From Souls hot take. Because I don't know if we'll have a whole section dedicated to it. So go ahead, Soup Princess. Mario should be fatter and shorter. That is a hot take. I think he's swell as he is, personally. But I'm not gonna die on this hill. As long as he doesn't get taller and thinner, then I think we're all right. To be honest, I didn't know we were specifically on a topic. I see. Just thought we were all really in a Minecrafty mood. Super Mario Bros. Super Show cartoon portions of the episodes are way better than the live action segments. Ooh, I've seen so little of the Super Show, actually. I think they're both really solid, but I'm gonna agree. The live action segments are like really real swell. But they can also like have some of that like aged early cartoon related live action badness, which is like, it's great, but some of it's just like, this doesn't age super well sometimes. So, and the cartoon's kind of all hilarious in its own special little way. So, sure, yeah, I agree. Me here, it says Coral Palette, thinking on Mario takes when the last two games I've played were Paper Mario and the Super Nintendo one. Played Mario Kart a few days ago after not playing it for months, and I have to say, I agree with you on the gliding. It sucks. It does! It does! It just, you lose all your speed. Thank you, overhyping. And I'm sad that it is coming back for Mario Kart World Tour or whatever. But whatever, it's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna play that game so hard. Fun fact! Says Zero, Silk Song is in the same boat that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was in, where it was initially a DLC that they had so many ideas for that they decided to make it a full game on its own. Are you gonna shit on Silk Song for that too? Cause you shat on Zelda for doing that. That is a fun fact though. I like that, that also certainly explains the length that it's taken them to work on Silk Song. I think a lot of games are overhyped, but fans are in too deep to admit it. There's nothing wrong with overhyping things, in theory. We all get excited. We can all get really hype. I think the important part is recognizing that you have to temper yourself once you actually get it, you know. But easier said than done sometimes. I like how benign the Mario hot takes are compared to the Minecraft ones. But I wish Mario switched genre more. Ooh, a Mario Metroidvania. Wow, that actually sounds fucking sick. I agree, Dill Pickle, that sounds great. I'd love for Mario to explore more genres. He used to be everywhere, and now it's a lot harder to find Mario in like a point-and-click adventure or something, isn't it? Hate how when you fall off edges in Mario Kart, when you miss the edge, I am gonna disagree. While it's annoying, it's like an integral part of the game. So, I'm gonna disagree, but I super see where you're coming from. Think Mario is over-bloated. I'm gonna keep walking away from that one. Don't want to explore that sentence. The stories in mainline Mario games are kind of boring. Not because they're simple, but because they tend to repeat the same plot thread of Bowser kidnapped Peach, save for Mario. That is true. I'd love for Mario to allow itself to have a more, like, really story-driven game. Maybe if we got a Mario RPG 2, that'd be pretty nifty. Alright, Zero's FromSoft hot take. Dark Souls 2 isn't bad. It just did things differently, and gamers refused to adapt to the new systems, and then blamed the game for their own issues. I cannot corroborate this at all. I know shit diddly about Dark Souls. Or Demon Souls. In my world, these games start with Elden Ring. Maybe Bloodborne. And that's not me being like, oh, they're old, so they're bad. I'm just completely unfamiliar with them. I've not played any of them. None of them have caught my eye before. So I'll just accept your hot take as truth. On Elden Ring, I think the game suffers from the FromSoft combat style showing its age and is unsatisfying. It has way too much to spread too little enemy variety. Fascinating take. Fascinating. So I've only played Elden Ring, and I quite like the combat. I enjoyed it enough that I changed from being a mage class. I reclassed myself as a guts light, where I use big sword. I hit big guy with big sword. Because combat was more fun when I actually got to hit guys. I think perhaps that's something to be explored, that certain gameplay styles are more rewarded than others, but I can't call myself a FromSoft combat expert enough to be the one to spearhead that kind of a conversation. But I found the combat fun and engaging, personally. Hello, welcome. We're doing hot takes. We're currently on Mario, but with some FromSoft hot takes sprinkled in. I gotta catch up to you guys eventually. I think Mario Kart Double Dash is the best Mario game. This is not a hot take, Pyra. I agree. It is the best Mario Kart game, and everyone agrees. I don't remember shitting on Tears of the Kingdom for that. I shut on it for other reasons. That was one of the reasons. but that's alright. I can't expect you to have a perfect memory like me. Mario Odyssey 2, but this time we changed genres. It's still called Mario Odyssey 2. It is a completely different game. Different gameplay. It's not even in the same setting. Cappy doesn't even come back. I hope the next 3D Mario isn't Odyssey 2. Related, I hope the next 3D Mario is more like Wonder, aka off the walls wackiness. I agree. I think Mario Odyssey 2 is unlikely. Very few Mario games have gotten direct sequels. And I think if we were to get an Odyssey 2, I think it would have happened by now. And I agree, not necessarily with off-the-wall wackiness, though that is really fun with Wonder. But I guess I would phrase it as, playful changing ups of gameplay, which I think is just me pedantly wording off-the-walls wackiness differently. So I agree, Mr. Pokemon. Nintendo should use Wario and Waluigi as bad guys again. I agree! That is not a hot take. But I agree. They absolutely should. Especially Waluigi. Trust me, I'm right about Dark Souls. I'll just believe. I don't know. You've been told Mario Kart and Party are the monopoly of video games, destroying families and friendships. No one's family gets destroyed by Mario Kart. Mario Party is where bloodbaths happen, but that's what makes it fun. You know what? One taker. Look up Scott the Woz playing Mario Party. He's got a good couple of those now. They're all fun videos, and I think he explains it better than I ever could. The fact that it's not fair is what makes it fun. Let me rephrase that. I think Nintendo should stop making so many Mario games and take their time on one good Mario game. I agree. But also, I mean, it's... but also, I think they have different teams working on the different... Like, it's been... We haven't gotten a 3D Mario game since Odyssey. Which, keep in mind, came out the same year as Breath of the Wild. We've gotten Tears of the Kingdom in that time. But we still haven't gotten another 3D Mario game. So... yeah. I think they take plenty of time. I think they just know how to spread their workload efficiently. And also, I would argue that it's not like they're crapping out Mario games. You know, they're all pretty solid. I'd say, at least. My hot take is, I think Mario is a great character. I'll even say more than Luigi. People like to call him boring or uninteresting because he lacks personality. Sometimes you need the MC is for him to be kind, loving, and heroic. That's why I think Mario is an amazing character. What a sweet hot take. I loved that, Jordan. I don't know how hot it is. I guess people do use him as kind of the default boring everyman. But you're right, Mario, you know, he's boring, but he's nice. That's what makes, he's just a nice guy, and that's boring now? You know, I'm gonna agree. I like it. I liked the hot take. Fun fact, the story elements in Mario Galaxy, like Rosalina's storybook, was snuck into the game by some developers. They were going to be more prominent, but Miyamoto shut it down. Do we have a source for that hot take? Fun fact. I like it, but that sounds a little bit like internet hearsay, you know? Like, I don't fully doubt it, but I'd love for, like, a real source. At least then, so we could also know which cool devs were adding cool, fun, extra stuff to Mario Galaxy. I'd love for a Mario platforming roguelike. You have all the makings of a roguelike system with the different power-ups. Oh, that's true! That would be pretty cute. Never played Double Dash, so I can't comment on the statement, but I trust you. It's ludicrously fun. And the thing is, it's just a good kart racer. Like, there's no outstanding gimmick other than there are two people in the cart, and it changes nothing, except for, like, what ultimate they get. For example, Koopa gets 3 shells to throw as their ultimate versus Toad. Toad gets, like, gold mushrooms, so they can, you know, spam boosts. Yeah, etc., etc. But yeah, it's just like a good fun kart racer, and that's been the problem, is that every other Mario Kart has tried to have some gimmick, and they've all been like, just, the gimmick has gotten in the way of good kart racing. So I highly recommend checking out Double Dash once I think it was coming to the Switch Online GameCube bullshit thing that's gonna be on the Switch too. So that's fun. exciting stuff. Twiins has perfect memory. Press X to doubt. Listen, I have, as long as I can't remember anything I've forgotten. Mario 64 level design is bad. I agree. Mario 64 is a bad game. It was a pillar of its time. It is one of the most important games in the history of gaming. As it jettisoned us into the third dimension, Mario 64 is bad. It looks bad. It plays bad. I don't like Mario 64. I respect Mario 64. I feel like mill character customizing returned in Mario Kart 7. Do you mean me? You feel like me character customizing should return? And I don't understand your hot take. But also I've not played Mario Kart 7, so I can't comment. Let's shift to another game franchise. We've gotten a good amount of Marios, so let's wrap it up with what's another game franchise we want to have hot takes for. The other one, we'll do free for all. Hot take free for all for the last 10 or so minutes of streaming. So potpourri, dealer's choice. Do whatever hot take you have. If it's a game I haven't played, well, yeah, I can't. Yeah, there you go. But we'll see what happens. Do you think Mario Kaizo ruined Mario for a lot of people? I mean, the games are still canonically made for normies like you and me. I think Kaizo players may have ruined Mario Maker. But, other than that, my Mario gaming experience has not been impacted by Kaizo players being able to do, impressive shell jumps. Just like how my gameplay of Breath of the Wild never changed even when I knew that people were being able to speedrun things and jump through invisible walls and stuff. So, I'm gonna disagree. What if Nintendo made a horror Mario game? That would be pretty cool. How scary would it really be, though? I feel like it couldn't be that scary. Surely. It'd be hilarious. It'd be awesome. But I just don't think it could be that scary. Another one, the recent Mario parties have had very uninteresting UI design that actively drags down the quality of the games. I can't remember the last Mario Party I've actually played. Oh, wait, I played Mario Party Superstar or whatever on the Switch. I don't know if the UI was the problem, or if it was just a lack of board variety. Mario parties, if they want to be good, they need to fuck up. They need to fuck around. Throw me on a board where halfway through the game, half of the board actively is caught on fire. Put me on a board that'll just be like, fuck you, you lose all your coins out of nowhere. You know, that's how you make Mario Party good. If they play it too safe, that's the issue. The source for the Mario Galaxy fun fact. Way to go, you. I'm proud of you. The new Mario Kart being open world sounds really like the gimmick will be in the way to the racing. Hope people enjoy if they want to spend $1 billion or something. I am really excited because so the racing will be fun and all, but I'm really excited to do just free roaming. I like driving around aimlessly in video games. I've always liked to do that. I would play if I had grown up with GTA, that's what I would have done. Growing up with Jak 2 and Jak 3, I would spend hours just getting on a vehicle and driving around. I just like driving around. So races are fun, but driving around, in a video game, there's something special to that in my eyes. So I'm dummy excited for it. I'm super duper dumb excited. The Devil May Cry reboot game, which is called Devil May Cry. Really? Is not that bad of a game. Hang on. The reason why people weren't too keen on it was purely because the devs are being assholes about it, and even called Dante a gay cowboy. If the devs didn't throw shade on OG Dante like that, the reboot would probably not have gotten the hate it did. I've not played a single second of any Devil May Cry. I don't know shit diddly about Devil May Cry. He's the devil, yeah? Does he cry? he better not. So I can't agree or disagree. So bummer. But what I can say though, that its name, Devil May Cry, shitty. A bad title. But I'm not sure if it's a hot take, but I actually like grinding in Pokemon. Can't explain why, I just do. Allison also quite likes grinding, quite a bit. I think it helps that Pokemon the battles are often very quick, and I think that's been, a problem with some of the 3D games as they were finding their footing. Animations take too long, and it's slowed down fights a lot. You can go through Pokemon pretty quickly. You don't need, and versus other RPGs, you don't need to do like a whole lot of like super strategy. Like I remember playing Final Fantasy X, and every combat encounter felt like a boss fight where you needed to set up, some characters, you needed to debuff the boss, you needed to buff your friends, you needed to charge up for your super attack, and all while also balancing your mana, and you don't need to do that with Pokemon. So Pokemon battles are easy and fun by nature, and I think that is what makes grinding in Pokemon not as bad as it is in other games. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of grinding pretty across the board. However, I'm also the person that, since I don't like grinding, I fight everything. I don't want to get to the end game and be like, this is too hard, I need to grind. So I've just learned that if you're playing an RPG, just don't run from any battle, and you'll be alright. My hottest take, it's a Dark Souls one, so I don't know how much I'll be able to say about it. Dark Souls 1 is not that good of a game. People like the first part because it was a genuinely innovative level design, but that falls off pretty hard on the second part of the game, and the combat is bad. Like I said, not played any of it. I'm gonna say that you're probably right. Being just the first one, obviously it's not gonna age super well. I mean, Dark Souls still is clunky by design, being, way back on the goddamn, Xbox, and the first one of its kind, you're probably right, at least in the combat, that, I bet the combat is skrunkly. The Sims does not make sense. Why would I want to play a game where I work a job and pay a mortgage when I do that IRL? Because you're playing The Sims wrong. The Sims is a game where you A, customize homes. B, find creative ways to kill the characters. C, try to have in-game sex. That's the point. If you're playing Sims for real, you're doing it wrong. I think the Pokemon combat system, having barely changed for years, is making the mechanics of the games more aggravating and dull. I'm gonna disagree, because they haven't barely changed for years. They've added 3 new types, they've added abilities, they've added... There's always new moves being added, and new Pokemon type combinations. They recently, this is a recent change, changing physical and special attacks and how they work. Not to mention every game has its own special gimmick, from Mega Evolutions to Terrestrialization. At that point, the thing you're bored with, finding aggravating and dull, is the simple act of an RPG. So I'm gonna disagree. Personally. But thank you for the hot take. It was a hot one. Mario Party needs the ability to have 4 CPUs again. Betting on I agree. I fully agree. To the point I'm blown away that that's gone. I agree, Messiah. That he speaks the truth. It's technically called DMC, Devil May Cry. That is barely better. Pokemon games until Gen 5 were genuinely bad. Wow, this is a hot take. Not bad in an unplayable way, but a lot of little things that frankly ruin the experience. Why did you actively discourage using the new Mons? Why does Sinnoh, all of Sinnoh look bad? Why have trade evolution Mons if the in-game trades don't utilize them? Maybe I just don't like the Gen 4 games. I also am not a huge fan of Gen 4, personally. I'm gonna disagree, saying that they're all bad. I think some are certainly worse than others. But I think some of your issues are specific. Why actively discourage using the new mods? I've not encountered that. Outside of, like, Johto hiding half of their new Pokemon in post-game, in Kanto. You cannot get Houndoom in Johto. That's bananas. I'd argue many of them are really fun and good, and reward you for, reward you for playing how you want to play. Nothing discourages you from using new mons. You are encouraged to find the mons that you want to use, and rewarded for working hard by getting it, So I'm gonna disagree. But that was a spicy take. I liked it. I did like it. Baldur's Gate 3 hot take. Minthara is the best romance. That's not a hot take. There's like half of Reddit thirsts over Minthara. Gen 5 haters rise up. Gen 4, I mean. Fuck. Pokemon hot take. How come you all just shifted to Pokemon? Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire remakes are huge improvement from the original. It's not just 3D graphics, but mostly the character redesign. Character redesigns are huge improvements. I feel like I remember something I didn't like about the gameplay of Ruby and Sapphire. It was a lot easier. I think but I think actually my issue was I just did not like the new iteration of Brendan. Your rival. But the gameplay was a lot more fun. So I'm gonna agree. That is true. I despise RPGs. I've accepted that part of me, and that is okay. Not a hot take, just me complaining. My bestie got me the download Roblox, and trying to control the avatar in Dress to Impress on my phone was fucking torture. I kept getting stuck in the walls. It sucked. Yeah, this is why I don't play Roblox, because I play real games. But Dress to Impress has been the one thing that's made me go, oh, I want to play that. What is this game? Oh, it's in Roblox? Fuck. But yeah, bummer, man. Maybe it would work better on PC if you've got one. I don't know, but sometimes computers are behind. Fighting game take. A lot of people complaining about the new fighting games being easier are stupid. I don't want to call other people stupid. I don't want any hot takes about people. I want hot takes about video games. I don't want to read no hot take where you're insulting other people. So I'm not gonna read your comment. Also, I don't play fighting games, so I don't know any of this discourse. I'm sorry. Sort. That's alright. That's alright. You are forgorted. That reminds me of Munchlax's encounter rate on Gen 4. Yeah, some of them are hard to get, but that's the thing. It's because it's a rare Pokemon. Like, I really wanted, Snubble in Johto. It's got such a low encounter rate, and so that's the test of being a Pokemon trainer. You keep looking until you find it. I did that with Arctibax as well in Violet, and it makes it feel good. It makes you feel like yeah, I did it. I found the rare Pokemon. Yeah. So yeah, it's not discouraging you. It's rewarding you for having the gumption to find it. Why people are down bad on Minthara? I thought they just simped over Shadow Hearth, which is not her name. I mean, people simp over every romanceable and most non-romanceable NPCs. They simp for Minthara because they have Dami Mommy kinks. Also, her romance scene, I've not seen it. I've seen one screenshot of it, though. And it seems pretty good. Both her and Halson get pretty lengthy romance scenes, probably by virtue of being added in later in production. So, they got a little extra time to cook, and the animators kind of knew what they were doing at that point. So that's big why. like villains, like dommy mommies. Good romance scene. Those seem to be the big ones. Stardew hot take, probably not, but Emily is the best bachelorette. Fight me, please don't, I'll lose. Emily, huh? If I were to choose one of the bachelorettes, because obviously I like fellas, so I chose one of them. Emily is certainly interesting. She's got a lot of character to explore. A good one if you like, I like an interesting story to develop, I think. In terms of aesthetics, I guess I like Leia's look the most. So I guess I would choose her. But Emily, you know, Emily's pretty nifty. I can dig her. FNAF 1 and 4 are the only actually scary ones, otherwise they're all just silly messes. I agree, this is not a hot take, it's basically just truth. The correct simp option is Karlach, actually. The correct simp option is actually, as you can tell, Gortash and Raphael, who have been permanent additions to my set. I've still got, like, Halson. He hasn't been here. I just deleted, like, Gale and Astarion. Oh, I've got a second Gale. I didn't expect it to be this picture of him. But yeah, personally, I'm a Raphael Gortash gal. People will simp over anyone, as long as the character is hot. It's true. And half the time, you don't even really need that. Probably my hottest Baldur's Gate 3 hot take is that I don't like how down bad for you every character is. I could do without the sex or romance. You don't have to engage. You can turn them all down. So, you don't need to feel like you have to. Personally, as someone who is, sad and lonely IRL, I quite like it. But, yeah, it's nice that you don't have to romance any of them. Stardew hot take. It's bad. Every other game made afterwards is more interesting and does it better than Stardew. I disagree. In terms of, like, farming sims, Stardew Valley has had an interesting story, fun gameplay. It has kept me playing long after I got married, which is usually where I fall off. But I think here's an important major thing. You need to be playing on PC with mods. The game is made or broken by if you have mods, and so if you're not playing on a PC with mods, I can understand where you're coming from. But I am, and it makes the game so much better. So, and it really is the pinnacle. And I had been a staunch Stardew Valley avoider. Not a hater, I could say, but it was like, everyone's always like, Stardew Valley's so amazing. Whatever, it's not even that good. They just like it because it's new. And then I finally played it, and I was like, shit, they were right. It is really good. And it makes every other farming sim, like, pale in comparison, personally. They just don't offer even as interesting characters as Stardew Valley, and I can say that Stardew Valley is one of its weakest points is how shit the bachelors are. And even then it thrashes what we've gotten out of Stardew, like a Story of Seasons and such. Dragon Age 2 is a really good game. I agree, Excalibur. I have played Dragon Age 2 so many times. I think I have to call Inquisition a technically better game, but I'm learning that people didn't like Dragon Age 2, and I can understand reasons why. It is really repetitive, and there's like 2 different dungeon layouts, and combat is pretty mid, but I really, really liked it. I agree. I like Dragon Age 2. I think it's really swell. Music Man Smash. Not true, just want to say that. I don't know who that is, Cereza. Who is Music Man? I feel like I should know. For a second I forgot marriage was a thing in the game. I thought you meant IRL. was about to wonder how I hadn't heard of it until now. Yeah, I would have mentioned something. Hello, Hacksire. Oh, Music Man from FNAF. You said Smash? Oh, and then JK? Yes, good. I'm glad you're joking. I think you said JK. I'm just gonna pretend you did. Hello, Hacksire. Welcome. Unfortunately, you've kind of showed up right as we're winding down, I think. But if you want to throw out a video game hot take, I'm all ears. Twiins, the ever contrarian, being won by the game she contrained about. It's so is. It's amazing how often that happens. That happens with YouTube videos as well. It'll be recommended, like a video, and I'll be like, I'm not gonna watch this stupid video. I wish it would stop recommending it to me. And then I finally click on it, and then I was like, damn it, this is good. Yes, I'm pretending. Yes, I said JK. Okay, good. I've only played Sword, Shield, Scarlet, Violet, well, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and a bit of Arceus Legends. But out of those games, Hop has been my favorite rival so far. I would burn the world for that boy. A lot of people seem to hate him, so I guess that's a hot take. I didn't know a lot of people hated him. I think Hop is fine. I wouldn't call him hateable. I think overhyping. I think this might be the huge issue with Hop. He's very similar to How, who is the rival we got in the games preceding Sword and Shield. It did end up feeling a bit like the same thing again. I like Hop plenty. I think we could have done more with him and his relationship with his brother, the champion. But, he's fine, so I'll agree. But yeah, I think we gotta wind things down. Gotta play some Project Sekai. Gotta close my curtains. The most interesting thing about Hop is his team. Bro uses Pincurchin, and I love that. I think art direction is more important than higher textures or realistic graphics. I'm gonna agree. And it's a shame that that is a pretty hot take amongst normies. Huh. But yeah, I agree. 100%. Do people like more or less the Legends Arceus games combat? I found it quite interesting, but I have no Switch to weigh in properly. I think it's a really fun new take on the Pokemon combat system. Arceus Legends, it was really intuitive, it was fun, it's more fun, and it's nice to see that Legends ZA seems to be focusing, again, on combat a little bit more. Combat was, of course, in Arceus Legends, but it focused a lot more on catching Pokemon, which was really, really fun. But if your favorite thing is fights, then you're gonna be, I think, a little bit more disappointed. But I liked the gameplay a lot. I think it was one of the more interesting and better executed gameplay systems in the world of Pokemon tries something new. Oh, your ceiling light burned out? Damn. That's rough. At work, gotta go. Be safe. Adios. One taker. Don't get caught watching my very good fun streams while you're at work. Movies, hot takes, next stream. I've seen so few movies. That would be me going, I haven't seen that for a full hour. A funny joke between me and my friend's mom is that Hop accidentally caught Snorlax while trying to catch something else. He sneezed and threw the ball at Snorlax and caught it. Does he have a Snorlax? And he was like, oh shit, dude, I think that's fun. I like that plenty. I live in darkness right now. I refuse to switch the lights on. Personally, I hate being in darkness. It annoys me. So, I can't agree. That's the true hot take. Do you prefer the light or the dark? But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll figure out what I'm doing. Is it just gonna be me drawing Waluigi? I don't know. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you offering some hot takes. I'm glad you all participated. I always like it when I basically just get to read you guys. So, bye. Make smart choices. Drink your water. Eat your vegetables.